Hi, my name is RENFORD REESE. I'm a political science professor and director of the Colorful Flags program at Cal Poly Pomona. As a part of the Prison Race series, we're fortunate today to have with us Will Fields, a.k.a. Trey Devil. I want to have a conversation with Will about his membership and leadership in one of the biggest and most notorious gangs in Los Angeles, the Hoovers. I want to talk to him about his childhood, going from being a student at Brentwood Science Magnet School, one of the most prestigious elite schools in Los Angeles, to gang activity. I want to talk to him about his life in prison. He spent a 6-year stint in Centinela State Prison. I want to talk to him about life outside of prison. He's just paroled about 2 weeks ago. I want to get his perceptions on the free world. And finally, I want to talk to him about his transition from being a gangster thug to living a more enlightened and productive life. Will, glad to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
First of all, Will, tell us about your childhood. Tell us about how you could go from one of the best elementary schools, middle schools in Los Angeles, Brentwood Science Magnet School, where you were bused, to living a life of a gangster.
Basically, it all evolved around my environment. You know, where I grew up at and whatnot. When I used to go to Brentwood, I used to see these big houses, you know, fresh cut lawns, you know, be around all these different ethnic groups. And then when I would go back to my community, I'd see rundown apartments, graffiti, smokers, you know, crackheads, whatnot. And it just didn't fit what they was telling me at school, that I could be all I could be. But when I returned back to my community, they made fun of how I spoke, and I didn't see the opportunities flourishing there as they did in this other school I was being bused to. So eventually, over time, I just started to adjust to my environment as far as fitting in. I got tired of being clowned and talked about being a white boy, so I started to take action. I started seeing that whenever I did violence, I got attention.
Well, you told me that you had a chemical set. Tell us about that.
As far as like normal kids, I used to get entertainment sets or whatnot. And things I asked for when I was little was microscope, telescope, chemistry set, flashcards, encyclopedias. That's things I used to read while kids were out playing sports. Those were my sports, basically.
So you wanted to be a scientist?
Yeah, I wanted to be a scientist.
So when
that
did
was
it
my
turn?
dreams.
When did it turn?
Just seeing the contradictions in society, basically in people. And I started seeing that it wasn't there. And then my resources, my parents weren't promoting me, or nobody was really promoting me and pushing me to be that scientist, or enrolling me in programs that would push me to be that and go and continue to go on in that. So eventually I just fell and got caught up in the twist as far as in my community in South Central.
So tell me about, when did you start gang activity? How old were you?
I say about 12 years old. About 12, I started like breaking in cars, beating people up, carrying little pistols, you know, hustling, you know, and basically started actually claiming Hoover as far as just claiming it. And then I met this dude named Dog, and I started claiming Lil Dog. And I'd be smoking weed, drinking. You know,
at 12 years old?
Yeah, 12. Ditching from school, basically doing what I wanted to do. You know, and it just progressed. Once I got like a 15, I wanted to be a real member. So I went down, got courted, you know, and started doing my thing.
So when you say you got courted, you went through
initiation
process. So what is the initiation process?
Got down with got jumped on by like 3 of my homies. We fought, got put on, then I was a member, official member.
And then you told me that you had gone to different high schools. Tell me about the different high schools you went to.
I went to Washington. I went to Gardena. I went to Lusinger. I went to Lloyd Continuation. It was a point where they had me on home studies. I went to Dorsey. So
then the fundamental question is, why were you going to these different high schools?
Oh, man, fighting. Basically fighting people, doing what I wanted to, just being a rebel, just rebelling.
Well, why did you have so much anger in you?
Just society, man, my environment, just what I've seen every day. I mean, they telling me that you can be and live this American dream, but I wasn't seeing an American dream. I was seeing reality, and it wasn't what they was telling me it was. You telling me oh, do good at school, do this, you're going to get accepted. The good guy always win. But when I walk out the door, I'm seeing the dude hitting switches, the bad dude with the jerry curl with the size, fresh out the pen, getting all the females. The females all want to talk to this dude. They don't want to talk to me, the scientist, the dude that sound like a white kid. They want this dude. I want females. So I'm like, okay, this is what I got to do to get them. This what really pays off, the villain. And basically that's the script and the character that I made and created and went with the villain.
So then tell me about how you progressively got deeper and deeper into the gang world.
As far as the more work I put in, the more stripes I got, then I start saying, all right, with the more stripes and respect I earn, I can earn money. All right, bam, I can be in the spot now. I can be making more money. Homie's not going to say nothing to me. So I'm like, okay, if I keep doing this and doing this, I'm going to get more respect and more respect. And that's basically what happened. Start getting more respect, put in more work, make more money.
When you say put in work, what do you mean?
Going out, getting enemies, busting on enemies, shooting at enemies, laying them down, getting stripes. You know what I'm saying? Then you get your stripes, get your tats, and you just show more dedication to the game.
So when did you achieve what you call loc status? First of all, what is loc status?
Loc status is like you one of them dudes. Like if something happened, they gonna come get you. You like, that's the loc right there. That's like the highest respect basically you can get as far as in gang life, as far as like amongst like I say Crip organizations. But we no longer Crips, we push criminal now. But amongst Crip organization, you'll be like, that's the loc, which basically mean like, man, that's one of them dudes. Like he's one of the ones. He's a real one. You can go get him and he gonna ride. He gonna be there. He's a solid dude. He's a stand-up guy.
So when you say ride, what are you referring to?
I mean, if it's time to put in work, he gonna go put in work. If it's time to beat enemies up, he gonna beat enemies up. If it's time to discipline homies for doing foul stuff, he gonna discipline them. If it's time to put homies on, he gonna put homies on. If the set needs to be struck up, he gonna strike the set up. You know what I'm saying? If things need to get robbed, extortion need to be put down, he gonna put down all that. That's all in the life of a loc.
So all of this was a part of your life when you were 16 years old?
16, 17,
robbing,
18.
burglarizing, all of these stabbing. And so did you think there was anything abnormal about going out, shooting at people, robbing people, beating people up, stabbing people?
No, not really. I mean, because the music I was listening to, the movies I was watching, I just took it in like, man, this is my environment. This is what it's do. This is normal. I never seen nothing really wrong with it. I mean, I wasn't brought up that way in my household, but the music I'm listening to and what I'm seeing in reality, which is my environment, I'm like, this is cool. This is how you go about getting it.
So let's go back to your household. What was it like in your household?
All right, basically, I was raised by a single mother. My pops, he'd come get us on the weekends, but he basically paid child support. He'd come get us here and there, but he was basically doing his thing, doing his bachelor thing. My mom, she did the best she could with what she had, raising me and my brother, but a woman can't raise two men, especially not even one, let alone two. So she tried her hardest, but we basically did what we wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? We men. A woman's natural preference is to subside to a man. She's going to be submissive, whether he be his mother or his woman. Eventually, over time, she's going to become submissive. And that's basically what happened with my mom. Now that I realize now, I look back on our childhood, she basically submitted. Like, all right, these dudes is men. She naturally submitted. They going to do what they going to do. Even though she kicked me out the house a couple of times and told me that she wasn't raising gang members, over time, she just had to go with it because she seen that's what I was doing. Like, he gang bang. He out here in these streets. He going to do what he want to do. Her main thing was just graduate from high school. That was her main request.
And you graduated from high school?
I graduated from high school, me and my brother.